So let's get Raw down. Episode 2, a pay-per-view already. Why? Why so freaking soon? It's like day 1 from like 2020, what, 2? Is that 2022, I think? I hate early pay-per-views.
All right, look, it's 2006. The business is dying. They got to squeeze everything they can out of everyone.
True.
If you don't have 5 pay-per-views a month, what are you even doing?
I mean, we don't got anything till the Rumble at least, and then we got No Way Out, which is SmackDown, and then Mania.
Okay, so they don't have a February one?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so on the pre-show that we totally watched, we had Chavo Guerrero versus Schnitsky, and apparently it was decent. I mean, of course it was decent because we watched it.
Yeah, I like the part where he kicked him.
Yeah, Chavo Guerrero was definitely on the Raw that we watched, and Schnitsky was definitely on the Raw we watched, so them showing up before a pay-per-view makes a lot of sense. We start off with an icy title match with Edge versus Ric Flair, the champion. Listen,
Yeah, my first note on this, and I quote, is Flair looks like shit and his life is falling apart again.
yeah, I mean, he had that, was it the DUI just like a couple months ago, and they made fun of it on the last episode, so he's in a not good shape right there.
Yeah, the next note is that Ric Flair is barred legally from speaking about Edge or what I believe was quoted as the incidents.
The match was fine, though. I didn't find anything wrong with it. I don't understand having Ric Flair be your mid-card champ in 2006, but, I mean, hey, we got Lita as champ in 2023, so we're a
Yeah,
little bit out of the ordinary at any
yeah.
time.
Good on Edge for basically having an entire match by himself.
Yeah, I love Edge.
Ric Flair hit a flying axe handle at one point,
That
and
was
I
really
think
good.
that's about the only thing he ever did.
Yeah, fucking Rick was being a sexual harasser with Lita. He was trying to go woo, woo, woo.
Well, yeah, you got to do it. Ric Flair's whole gimmick is being a sexual harasser, even to this day.
So he puts a figure 4 on Lita. Edge bops him in the head with the briefcase for a DQ. He doesn't give a shit about the belt. Neither does anyone else in that crowd.
No, and even the commentary is like, oh, this was brilliant. This was Edge's plan all along, for sure. You know, he's really smart for getting himself DQ'd in a title match. I swear, guys, please.
Man, it was good too until the ending. And then I
Yeah,
give
I
it
mean,
2 stars.
yeah, I have kind of a nothing match, not the worst. And then Ric Flair sells forever until we get to the next segment, which
Is the I would say the most infamous segment. I don't remember anyone ever talking about this segment. I don't remember anyone ever bringing up this segment like in a YouTube video or any recollection of recalling this statement. So Kurt Angle gets on the mic and they're asking him about how do you feel about your match tonight because he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And he starts going off about how he hopes the U.S. loses the Iraq War, that I'm sorry for saying this, but this is exactly, and I quote, I don't really like the black people, and he's going to make Jesus tap out.
unprompted.
Just
He
out
just
of nowhere.
starts. Yeah, just starts the promo like this. And he got, I don't know what I expected the reaction to Kurt Angle saying he doesn't like black people was, but it wasn't, it was neither complete boos or complete cheers, which confused me. But the point he's trying to make that he gets to is he says he can say whatever to quote these idiots in the crowd and and they'll still cheer him. And then he says, I'm the best. I'll beat everybody up. He hits the Kurt Angle, yeah. If we could hit that sound, please. There we go. And then he leaves, and we cut back to the ring, and Ric Flair is just being dragged out as his theme is still playing. So he's been dead for about 10 minutes at this point, I'm pretty sure, in real time. So shout out to that crowd that just had to watch Ric Flair die for about 10 minutes after this, I don't know, 10, 12-minute match. But yeah, Kurt Angle, you missed the part where he also said that France was the best country in the world.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about he said that.
Yeah.
He's like, I love France.
In retrospect, he got his desire. I really don't understand how, like you said, I haven't seen Kurt Angle saying he's not a fan of black people, has just never been addressed or played or memed or anything like that. There are a lot of things that Kurt Angle has said. Bestiality sex, I think, being the one people usually quote it. But maybe this one just isn't funny enough. Like, you can't just say that, so that's why it's not memed. I don't really know. Or tapping out Jesus, for that matter.
Or U.S. losing the Iraq War. That was wild. Just like, I can't believe he said all that. Like, they didn't care. They just, nobody cared. They're like, oh, yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. the thing, he was right. They did still cheer him.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah, he's correct. He wants to tap out Jesus. He did, however, tap out Santa Claus on TNA, I believe. You know, I mean, a Christmas mascot, one of them, he managed to get. So shout out to Kurt Angle. Boy, I was about to say I hope Kurt wrote this himself. I don't know if I hope that.
I don't. I really don't. And I hope that Vince just said, it'll be funny. Just say it.
Oh, yeah, look, 100% Vince either wrote this himself or Pop Q for it. Like, no question. There's other fun stuff about Vince and black people later in this show, but 2006 feels very Vince to me, is what I'll say from what we've watched. This man was unhinged and out of control.
Oh, so now we get to the best match of the night, the women's title match. I know that's crazy to say in 2006, but Trish Stratus defends her title against Mickie James, and it was awesome. Trish looked so good in the ring around this time, and so did Mickie. Everything, like, there was no like botches really at all. They just were super fluid.
Yeah, I expected absolutely nothing from this, even though it is Trish and Mickie who are good, but I was like, it's 06, and I can give this any time. They probably gave this like what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes,
maybe?
yeah.
Like,
surprising.
Yeah, they gave it pretty good, time. They told a good story, Trish looked really mad and just kind of rattled the whole time. Mickie started off with the I'm excited to be here, and then as the match goes on, she becomes more and more serious, becomes an actual match.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the super fan, so she's trying her best to be like, I love you so much. I'm so happy to be in this ring, but I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, and once they get to the I'm gonna fucking kill you part, they work pretty stiff. Like, not just for a women's match, like, in general. Like, they beat the shit out of each other. I don't know if they were trying to prove something or what here, but like, yeah, this was a good match. I couldn't fucking believe it that they would do this in 2000, especially with the other women's segment that's on this show.
Right.
Maybe they locked up Vince for this. Maybe he was just gone in the back. I don't know, but
yeah, and I like the story where Mickie tried Trish's moves and it didn't get the win, but then Trish did the exact same stuff and just knocked her ass out with the kick. So I think that was a really good payoff.
Yeah, Mickie set up for it, hit the Stratisfaction, and Trish kicked out like 2.99. It was a really good kick out. And then Trish wins by she goes for Stratisfaction, Mickie counters it, goes for her mid kick, misses. Trish hits the chick kick, wins.
I'd give that 3.5 stars, 4 stars almost. I'd say 4.
Yeah.
Fuck it, 4. It was good.
I can't believe this was on the same program as the Maria shit last week. Apologies to number one Maria super.
It's okay, because we got Maria right up next. Maria's backstage interviewing herself, and she's just like, who's gonna win the match? Me? Oh, thanks. And then Gregory Helms shows up, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, Gregory Helms is just nothing. He's there. He's a creator wrestler.
Yeah.
But he has charisma. I've seen the Hurricane. I don't know if it's the mask or what, but whatever he's trying to do here is just not. He's just nothing. He's there. Maria also has a really high cutesy voice and looks like 19. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. I don't like it. And then Gregory Helms comes in, stinks up the joint for about a minute, saying, I guess he called Jerry Lawler creepy, but the note I have is Gregory Helms comes in to make this segment even worse. And then he leaves, and we get a tracking shot to a Shelton Benjamin and his mother. His mother, who's definitely not a stereotype that Vince would like you to see.
Christ.
His mom basically says he sucks shit and he's losing because he needs to eat right.
And they're just redoing the WCW angle with Judy Bagwell and Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, but
they had to make it even more racially insensitive. You gotta have the mom going, I want cornbread. I want collard greens. And she bends over, and Viscera shows. Was that later on, or was that?
That's later on.
That's later on. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh what? You didn't remember Jerry Lawler versus Gregory Helms?
Oh yeah, of course.
Fucking year.
Yeah. Why don't you get in on that? The best match of the year.
I mean, look. What do you want me to say? Like, honestly, the last note I have says this wasn't the single worst match I've ever seen, so my expectations were exceeded. Like, this is, I suppose, a competently done match. Jerry Lawler actually moves pretty well for his shape and age, but like, this match goes 7-8 minutes when it should have been 3.
Bad.
There's nothing technically wrong with this match. There's just nothing good.
I felt like I woke up right after the match. When that bell rang, I woke up. My brain turned off, and I was like, oh, I'm back. What happened? But I was watching it the whole time. I don't remember a single thing. All I remember is that Jerry Lawler hit him with the punch. Jerry Lawler won. in 2006.
Yeah, a lot of strikes. Jerry Lawler actually hit an arm drag
That's crazy.
at one point in time. He bumped over the top rope. Gregory Helms got on commentary, stunk up the joint again with a bad promo, rolled him back in. He's told Gregory Helms basically told Joey Styles he smelled bad. So Joey Styles is fully in the tank
Oh,
for him at this point.
speaking of which, the commentary team is so bad. It's Coachman, Joey Styles, and Jerry Lawler. What a fucking trio of nothing. I hate it.
Yeah, Lawler comes in halfway through the show because assumingly he's in kayfabe preparing for this match for the first half of it.
That's fine, but
But
Styles and Coachman by themselves are just unbearable.
I had tuned them out mostly,
Yeah.
despite my efforts. Yeah, so Lawler hits the punch combo, calls for the sets up for the pile driver. Was that still banned at this point in time?
I
Was it
don't
only
know if it
Taker
was
and Lawler
yet.
that were allowed to do it?
Yeah, because they've been using it forever, but like newer wrestlers couldn't use it. I think it was around 2010, I'd say. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Lawler wins when Gregory Helms goes top rope. King crotches him, hits the second rope fist drop. At the end of the match, Coachman requests help from the cardiac unit to get Lawler to the back. He is a time traveler, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he knew. Maybe he's
Yeah.
always had issues with heart stuff and we didn't know.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's swollen and red, like, even before he starts fighting. There's no way, but yeah. Like, he moved pretty well, and I was shocked. So, like I said, this was a match that should have been 2 minutes on a pay-per-view and maybe 5 on TV.
Yeah.
But they gave it, I don't know, you know what, I'm going to see. What was the actual match length
We
of
should get
this?
the
Let's
match
see.
lengths up.
Did some intrepid hero on Cage Match or whatever?
Oh, they definitely have it. They probably have Meltzer's ratings too.
9 minutes and 2 seconds.
That's way too long. It was way too
Jesus.
fucking long. How long was the Trish and Mickey match?
Apparently only 7:24. I thought it was longer than that. They gave that more time than well, it doesn't have Meltman's review, so let's
Damn.
see what we've got here.
Hell
1
no.
3/4 for this and 1.5 for the Mickey James match, apparently. What the
What?
fuck are you smoking, Mr. Lawler? Oh boy, this man, he fucking hated this show. My god. All right.
Yeah. 2006, he hated that shit.
I mean, he's not wrong, but you
Yeah.
know, yeah, that I don't. If this is accurate, I don't know how you watch those 2 matches back to back. I think that one's Jesus 1.5. Anyway, we're not here to yell at Dave Meltzer. That's what the rest of the internet is for. Anyway, this is over.
Now it's
We
time
cut
for our
to-
segment. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the segment. Yeah, fucking Sheldon's mom shows up and she's at the catering table and she goes, "What is this shit? What is all this food? I hate it. You know what? I'm going to get you cornbread. I'm going to get you sustenance. I'm going to get you collard greens." And then she bends over and Sheldon just walks off because he's like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed by my mom." And then Viscera shows up and he's like,
The red lights come on and music starts playing
and
before he shows
and he starts
up.
rubbing his hands, licking his
Yeah.
lips. And he's like,
In a backstage like catering table
Yeah.
that all of it happens. So I suppose in kayfabe he's just been waiting for somebody to come in that he finds attractive so he can hit this music and the lighting. I don't know.
and he's just licking his lips. He's like, "Oh, I want some of that chocolate." And she gets
the,
up.
I have the exact quote
What-
here.
go, give me it.
He asked for a big slice of her sugary, creamy chocolate pie.
Oh my goodness. She gets up and she's pissed off and she goes, "You know what? I'm going to get my son to beat your ass." And he's like, "What? Come on, man." What? It was awful.
Yeah. She's like, "You disrespected me. Fuck you. You're a creep. Sheldon's gonna kick your ass." I wrote that she is absolutely correct
Yes,
here.
absolutely. Poor Viscera.
Yeah.
Why did they make him do this?
You know, hey, listen, keep getting them checks, King.
And then we get the Triple H moment where you have to go an amount of time, very long, versus
Yep.
Big Show with his cast on, which they were trying to play up as that's like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So
Well, the episode before they had really like
Yeah.
he punched through a chair and like smashed a television with the club. It was effective at the time. So the beginning of this match is Triple H basically being afraid, yelling at the ref, or Big Show just swinging wildly with his club hand. Yeah,
this
so
match was awful. It was
Really?
boring. I did not like it. I just can't stand Big Show, and I can't stand Triple H long ass matches with somebody that's not like good. I'd say. I thought it just was paced terrible.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying it was good. I just didn't hate it as
I
much
hated
as
it.
you.
I'd say that it was better than the Jerry Lawler,
Oh, yeah.
Gregory Helms match.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
the length of time made me just bored. which is not good.
Yeah, my finishing match was too long, told a pretty good story. That's
Yeah.
most Triple H matches, frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically the story of this match is Big Show just dominates for a few minutes with his hand. Eventually Triple H gets him onto the outside. Big Show punches the post with the cast after Triple H ducks. Trips works the cast for a while, splits it open against the ring post. There's an explosion of dust, which is pretty cool. Pulls the cast off, exposes the bare hand, just keeps working the hand for a whole bunch of time. At some point, somebody on the show says derriere, and on the closed captions, that's marked as indistinct, so I guess that's also censored for some reason. Yeah, Big Show can't hit the choke slam with an offhand. He does snap the sledgehammer in half with his broken hand after a ref bump that happens for not, I don't really think, much reason. As a Triple H match, it has to. Trips gets speared, but the ref is down. Coachman alleges it's the most heart Big Show has ever shown. He's been wrestling a decade. I doubt that's true. Big Show calls for the choke slam with his offhand again. He gets hit with the sledgehammer. Trips hits the pedigree, arms down most of the way, brother. Ref recovers, slowly crawls over to the 3 count. So it's a 3 count that's really about 10 because Triple H has to look strong always. And it's over. This match went 16-20.
Oh my
apparently.
God.
It didn't need to.
No.
But it's every Triple H match.
That's gonna get a 1. And I don't think I gave Gregory Helms one. Gregory Helms Lawler was just 0. Get it out. I don't even care. This one was like a 1.5.
Yeah, I give it a Triple H match.
Triple H
out of 5.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Backstage, we're at Carlito and Chris Masters, and Chris Masters is just flexing. He's doing his little thing. Carlito comes in. He goes, "My man, we're gonna get this dub tonight. We're gonna ruin everybody else's chances of winning, and then it's just gonna be us." And Masters like, "Yep," and he slaps him on the chest. All the fucking sweat just flies off. That was it. That was pretty.
Yeah, a minute and a half. That was the whole segment he just described there.
Gotta slap him on the chest. Then we get another stinker. Why must we suffer? Shelton Benjamin versus Viscera. Oh man, Shelton was trying so hard in that ring.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mention that Dave Meltzer gave this a -2 stars. So that's what you're looking at here.
-2.
Yeah, which I think is a little mean.
That's a little mean, yeah. Because I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was awful. Like,
yeah,
Sheldon was busting his ass in there.
Yeah, this is a 0 1/4 star match.
Yeah.
Maybe -0.5. -2. How dare you, Dave Meltzer?
Viscera gets to the point where he slaps Sheldon's ass and then just humps him a bunch. I remember that was his signature move in I was gonna say 2K SmackDown versus Raw 07. I remember that was a thing. I didn't realize he actually did that.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, basically we have Shelton and his mom in the ring. Shelton wants Viscera to come out and apologize. His mommy says, "No, fuck that. I want you to beat his ass." Shelton tries not to fight, but his mom is like, "No, you have to do it." Viscera comes out. He wrestles in a pair of satin pajamas and some shiny boots. They start fighting. I wrote the only person watching that cares about this is Shelton's mom, who, shout out to this lady, by the way. She is just really doing her best with what she had. She is into it. She is animated. She's, because nobody cares, the only person you can hear. She just always has something to say at all times, and I respect that. They fight, they get to the outside. Shelton, who I believe is the babyface, hides behind his mom. He then tries to launch a surprise attack, and it fails because Shelton sucks. Shelton's mom promises to make him a sweet potato pie if he wins. At this point, I see a sign that says something about no free speech, and the WWE logo is on it. I don't know what awful thing this person was trying to say, but
saying in 06?
I couldn't figure it out. Shelton's mom begins to get more aggro, demands he breaks Viscera's leg. She threatens to hit Shelton with a belt if he doesn't win. At some point, Viscera hits, and I wrote here, and I quote, "Viscera hits the deep six, but fat and shitty." Viscera humps Shelton. Shelton's mom yells at him to outthink Viscera, and eventually just hits Viscera with her purse.
Yep.
And then Shelton hits a spin kick and wins.
Why don't we have the groaning noise as the soundboard? Because that's how I feel after that match.
7 minutes and 5 seconds. Felt a lot longer than that.
Fuck me. I don't know if did Shelton's career get better after? I don't remember. I know he was IC champion in 05. That was with the Shawn Michaels match.
When did he do the thing where he ran up the ladder at Money in the Bank?
That was 05. That was the year prior.
Listen, he was in the hurt business or whatever for a while. That was better. It still didn't win
That
anything,
was
but
like
you
what?
know.
That was like what? Like 13 years later?
Yeah, okay, yeah, listen, yeah, but I mean,
He won a tag belt with Cedric and all
okay,
for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, there you go, fellas. If your mom ever has you try to beat up a horridly obese man that humps you, just remember, in 13 years, life will turn around for you.
Yeah. Backstage, we're back with Vince talking to HBK, and HBK looks tan as shit. He got burnt to crisp in that little tanning booth, and Vince is very happy to see him. He's like, "You're number one, Mr. Sean." And Sean's like, yeah, whatever. I won as Royal Rumble number one. I won the first ladder match. I won the first Hell in a Cell. This is going to be easy, which I don't know why he didn't mention that he won an Elimination Chamber, the first one. You know, in the Elimination Chamber match, he could have said, I won the first one, but
Yeah,
he
he
didn't.
mentions he was in the first ladder match, which he lost. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't get it either. But
I don't know. He should just said I was in the Elimination Chamber and won it.
that tanning booth got some of his brain holster too
Oh
good. I don't
my
know, man.
god. Yeah, that is stupid. I don't know why this feud's even happening in '06. The fucking feud happened in
Yeah,
'97,
yeah.
'98.
And then Vince basically just says Lamau no, and then
Yep.
we cut to the next match, quote unquote match.
Yep. Now here is the Braun Panties Gauntlet match. Ay, caramba.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? You know what?
All right.
Do you want to get into this? Because I don't even know if I want to talk about it. It was just throw it away.
I mean, not really. Vince's weird obsession with grandmas.
You gotta have Mae Young
Uh,
and everything around
yeah,
that
it comes
time.
out because Mae Young and Moolah are here, and look, things happen. This was a match that happened. Nothing is worth talking about. But at some point there in this match, I don't know if it's blood or foundation that's on the, but it's gross as shit for this match.
Yeah. Poor
So
Maria, poor Candice, poor Tori. I'm gonna go through it. Poor Victoria. Who else? Poor
poor
Ashley.
Mae Young, Moolah
Yeah,
deserves it.
poor Mae Young. Yeah, fuck Moolah.
Poor
Man,
Ashley, especially. Ugh.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Ashley. She deserved better.
yeah. Well, she won, and then she took her top and skirt off because
Anyway, yeah,
woman power or whatever. I
yep.
don't know, because Vince is a horny bastard and I hate him.
You gotta have your
Anyway,
Playboy models for WrestleMania season always.
yeah. Anyway,
Till
this
08.
got 11 and a half minutes, so 4 minutes longer than the women's title match. And Meltman gave this -1 star, so better than the Viscera
How
match.
is it better than the Viscera match?
I look, take it up with him.
All right, Dave, come here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh my God, he hit
Oh,
me. Oh
oh
my
no.
God, Kurt,
Oh,
get after him.
Dave Meltzer, Kurt Angle, and Mike H have come through the internet and had a
I
triple threat
I can't
on
wait.
the roof.
I can't wait for
Wild.
Dave Meltzer to be on our last podcast of 2006. He'll be
Yeah,
a
it's-
special guest. He'll be like give us some insight of December.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Dave.
right. All right, listen, once we get to 3,500 patrons, I will have Dave Meltzer live on this show and I will bring him to task for his crimes.
Okay. That's just unbelievable. Now it's time for the main event. We got the world title match, or WWE title match. Jesus, we're not on SmackDown. Cena defending his belt against Shawn Michaels, Kane, Chris Masters, Carlito, and Kurt Angle. All right.
Well, they broken back in. Oh, dear.
Yeah, so Cena was hated at this time. It's crazy. It's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
to hear that.
Even in 06,
Yeah.
everybody was really fucking mad.
What a what a wild time. Because now, like, I don't even hear boos of Cena anymore. He's just legend status. What a fucking boring Elimination Chamber. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some great ones. That the last one was good, and it had Goldberg in it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The about 4 minutes when Kurt Angle comes out, that part's good. Him and Sean do some stuff. Kurt fires up. That part's good. And then the rest of it is there.
It was just nothing to it. I don't know what to say. I mean, Carlito and Chris were very happy to be together, but then they hated each other
Yeah, Carlito.
immediately.
All my notes are on Carlito. One of them, when he gets selected to leave the pod, he spits his apple out against
you
the
gotta.
chamber in shock.
Because they're not cool.
And then also, Carlito is the dumbest bitch I have ever seen in an Elimination Chamber match.
Mhm.
He doesn't go over on a suplex, right? And Kurt Angle has to just hold him up because he's trying to go over the rope, and Carlito doesn't fully go over, so he'd either get dropped on his head or snap his neck on the rope if Kurt wasn't a freak and just hold this grown man until he could reposition himself. Even in kayfabe, like 3 or 4 times, there's somebody in peril, and Carlito will just come fight the guy that has him in like a submission. A lot of people did this. Like Kurt Angle had a Chris Masters and an angle lock, and then Cena Cena saved him for some fucking reason. Then Shawn Michaels saved John Cena, also from an angle lock
I never
for
understand
some
that.
reason.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
The finish of this match is Cena's in the master lock, but Carlito comes around behind Chris Masters and hits him in the dick and then pins him. Again, why? You were behind him, just wait for Cena to tap and then hit him with the low blow. I don't understand.
Because Cena's got to bleed all over the place.
Yeah, because Cena's got to be strong, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He
again,
was
story of
bloody
this,
as hell, man.
Cena and Michaels do basically nothing for a few minutes. Carlito comes in. They still do nothing really. Kurt Angle comes in, fires up, suplexes the shit out of everybody, puts everybody in the ankle lock. He's fired up. It's awesome. Yeah, and then, for some reason, Shawn Michaels' sweet chin music's him in the face as has seen in the ankle lock and pins him. And then Kurt's gone. Then the match becomes boring as shit again, and it's just Carlito and Chris Masters teaming up on everybody until
they yell at each other.
It's just Carlito, Masters, and Cena, and Carlito ruins everything.
Yep, their whole plan was to get Cena out, and they didn't even do that. So, very good, guys.
Yeah, and once they eliminate Shawn Michaels, the crowd is just pissed off because at this point it's just Chris Masters, Carlito, and John Cena, and they're like, "Who's gonna win that? Like, come on,
yeah,
like what's gonna happen here?"
Oh man.
So the 2K comeback gets hit twice in this match. When Shawn Michaels does it, the people love it. When Cena does it, the crowd is just angry as hell. They've been watching this for 20 minutes. They know it's about to happen. So the heels get some, they're not supposed to be hope spots, but the crowd, they're hope spots.
Yep.
And then Cena's locked in the master lock. Carlito low blows Chris Masters for no apparent reason, pins him, and then Cena hits Carlito with a quick roll up, and then he wins.
Yep. Crowd is gutted. They hate it. They're so upset that Cena just retained.
But then Vince comes out, and he has to talk for quite a bit of time, I think, because he's waiting for the cage to be raised.
Yeah.
Because they timed this very poorly. So he basically has to cut a too long promo wherein he just announces that Edge is cashing in here.
It was the first time ever being cashed in.
Yeah. And so instead of, what they do every other time, which is they just run out and it's a cool surprise, they just have Vince come out and say that it's happening for 4 minutes to stall for time as the cage gets raised to the ceiling. So, it ruins all the heat of the surprise, but the crowd is still very excited that assumedly not John Cena will actually be walking out with the title tonight. Edge gives the briefcase to Vince. So I guess Vince counts as a ref for the purposes of Money in the Bank cash-in at this point in time. So Cena's bloody and exhausted and can barely stand. Edge runs over, punches him a whole bunch in the corner as Cena collapses. Goes for 2 different pins. Cena kicks out twice, stomps out Cena more, hits Cena with a spear, and I'd like you to remind you, John Cena entered first in a about 25-minute Elimination Chamber match. He is bloodied. He has been beat up by everybody, including Edge now, and taken Edge's finish. But guess what? He still kicks out of a spear. The crowd is just so mad. Edge can't believe it. And then he staggers up. One last spear. 1, 2, 3. Edge wins. New champion. The crowd, it's not like they're excited about it anymore. It's not a surprise at this point. It's more of a, oh, thank God it's over kind of thing, more than like actual holy shit that happened. So yeah, Cena kicked out of a bunch of shit when he shouldn't, and they ruined the surprise of their first cash in by having Vince come out and stall and announce it for some reason.
Yep.
So, chamber match was fine, I guess, but
it was all right. I give it 2, and then you got to give it a 3.5 for that final Edge, because that was a significant moment. That was the first time anyone's ever cashed in the Money in the Bank. It was a big deal, and the crowd went fucking crazy. The crowd went crazy when Edge pinned him.
Yeah, and Dave Meltzer says 1 star.
1 star? Well, I mean, it was a minute, so I mean, it makes sense.
146 says the Internet Wrestling Database, which I just assume is correct.
Yeah, and Edge won his first world title. One of many. Crazy to see that happen.
Yeah. I didn't realize this is where it happened. I thought it was like an actual Elimination Chamber show.
Nope. Just New Year's Revolution 2006, just on a random ass thing. Where were they at? I think
we're at the Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York.
Okay, because the last one was in Puerto Rico, and I remember that was a stinker, or they said it was, I think. And then 06 was Albany, and then they only had one. I think 07 was the last one. Then they never did it again. Maybe stop having pay-per-views so early in the year, because fucking Royal Rumble takes so much to build up for.
Yeah. It takes the air out of the whole company for a while.
Yeah, like day one killed everybody when Brock won the belt from Big E. What a shit show. Why don't we throw it? Oh wait, I'm hearing the. What's that knocking noise? What's that? Oh, someone's in the corner.
Oh,
Holy crap!
oh no!
It's we got Joe's corner.
Ric Flair won by disqualification versus Edge, who was accompanied to the ring by Lita. Edge somehow didn't get hepatitis. Ric Flair somehow doesn't have hepatitis at that point in time. So that's really like a win for Edge, I'd say. Good for him. Trish Stratus defeats Mickie James, and quite frankly, very soundly. Probably the best women's match that we might see in all of 2006, if I'm being honest. I mean, in retrospective, we're probably getting, you know, something down the line. That's where this feud looks like it's going. But Trish Stratus working her ass off, Mickie James working her ass off. It's too bad they're in the era that they are right now, because if they were wrestling in their primes now, today, they'd be killing it. Jerry Lawler defeats Gregory Helms. This match was actually hilarious. I had a really good time with it. Seeing at the time, Jerry Lawler would have been like what 54, right? Because he's like 75 now. I mean, this is Jerry Lawler before he's had like 2 heart attacks and 3 strokes and however many hospital visits it takes for that. He's in good health. Good for him, I guess. We won't talk about him personally, but it was very funny. It was very funny. He was working Gregory Helms with the Hurricane bit. I had a good time. So, Triple H versus the Big Show, and the Big Show's dumb broken hand. Nobody cares. This is dumb. We're skipping it. Shelton Benjamin with Mama Benjamin versus Viscera. I thought it was cool. I mean, it wasn't okay. Cool is a very loose word. But I of course this was probably planned with them, but it was very spontaneous at the time. Like Shelton obviously has got that dog in him. And he was coming off of the world's greatest tag team, right? It's too bad he was doing this. But it was cool. I mean, it was a spontaneous, match, and he got the win, and we'll see where that rides him. Spoiler alert, because we already recorded the Raw after New Year's Revolution 06. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere. But he got the dub. Good for him. Ashley defeats Candice, Maria, Tori Wilson, and Victoria. Again, in an age where women don't have last names. Ashley won the bra and panties gauntlet match. So, great. Yeah, I love it. All right. And then the main event, Elimination Chamber. John Cena, the champion, the WWE champion, faces off against Shawn Michaels, who's the number 2 entrant. And they will all be fighting, of course, Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, and Kurt Angle, who are locked in pods. And it was really good working, like Shawn and John, of course, had really great chemistry. You almost can't tell Shawn Michaels has got 2 busted knees. So, he still looks pretty good for, how old was he at the time? Like 42. I was going to say 38, but I mean 42. Fuck. John Cena, looked good. He took his hat off, and that blade job he did from the Monday before, the Go Home show, the first blood match with him and Kurt. I mean, he really like raked it. Like it looked like he like fell on a rake or something, like for real. But yeah, no, I mean it was good. And then who was the next entrant? It was Carlito, I think, right? He came in, did some stuff, whatever. Nothing with the apple. We didn't get anything with the apple. And this is kind of in the point where Carlito's already been on the roster for like 3 years. So the apple is now a comedic bit, and he's not a legitimate heel anymore, of course. But yeah, whatever. That's always how that turns out. The gimmick turns the person into a gimmick. So whatever. And then Chris Masters comes out, and then Carlito and Chris Masters enact their plan to beat up on all the old vets and have one of them be the champion. One of the new bloods. They both agreed on the Raw Go Home show that one of them should be champion. It shouldn't be these old fogies. And quite frankly, I'm almost led to agree with them. And then Kane comes in, and Kane was no, it was Kurt. Or no, hold on. It was the order was Shawn and John, and then Kurt, and then Carlito, and then Chris, and then Kane. I got that mixed up because Kurt was like in and out in a flash. I think he got eliminated like as soon as Chris Masters like entered the match, or maybe right even before it. It was seriously like I had Kurt Angle winning the whole thing. Honestly, I mean I haven't watched any of these episodes from Raw. I was allowed to watch TV on Fridays, so I grew up with SmackDown, but so I didn't watch any Raw. But I hate SmackDown. SmackDown is stupid. But I especially didn't watch the pay-per-views. I mean, I wasn't gonna. They were not going to be purchased. Yeah, $30 a pop and you have to stay up late on a Sunday night to watch them. Wasn't gonna happen as a child. So this was really the first time I'd ever seen this pay-per-view, and I really thought Kurt, seeing the Raws beforehand coming into this, that he would be the guy. But I mean, he was in and out in a flash after a sweet chin music. Shawn gets him and eliminates him, and then Chris Masters comes in, and then Masters and Carlito do their work on Sean and John, and then Kane comes in and rolls through everybody. Whatever. And then Sean, and then everybody gets their moves in on Kane. It actually takes Carlito and Masters like both laying on top of Kane to get him eliminated, which was pretty cool. It was actually really refreshing to see that Kane didn't just squash the young guys. And it was nice. So then Masters and Carlito went back on their assault on the old guys, and actually, I forgot how Sean was eliminated, but he was the next one. I don't know if he like got knocked out on the master lock, or I feel like that's what should have happened, but it was probably just like a dumb pin or something. The plan was working very well for the two young guys, and then Carlito told Masters to charge up like in the games. He charged up the master lock, wait for Cena to get up, and then he put him in the master lock. Masters put Cena in the master lock, but then Carlito, so devious that he is, hit a low blow on Chris Masters and then rolled him up, and then he won real quick. John Cena thankfully wasn't fully in the master lock, I suppose. Had enough stamina to also roll up Carlito in his excitement for eliminating his partner. And 1, 2, 3, John Cena wins. John Cena retains at New Year's Revolution 2006. He's sitting there like a bloody mess. And then Mr. McMahon comes out. He says, "Yo, check your shit." And then Edge comes out with his Money in the Bank briefcase that he won at WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania that took place in 2005, and he cashes in. So him and Lita come back out from the top of the show. And I mean, puts the work in on him, like Cena's trying his best to fight back, but he just fought off 5 other guys. He's bleeding. And then Edge finally gets, with a spear, a couple executions, gets his first WWE championship, right? That's his first reign as WWE champion. And what a great way to do it too. Honestly, I mean, he'd been holding it for 9 months? He would have held it for 9 months. Look, we didn't watch any of the 2005 episodes, so he could have been doing dick all with it. For all I know, it probably hit somebody. He hit Ric Flair with it earlier tonight, so maybe that was indication, from there. But I mean, if everybody with the Money in the Bank hits somebody with it, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But it was really good. I mean, Edge is a sleazeball, but he got it. He had already been in the company for like a decade, so yeah, it was cool. It was awesome to see. And what I really liked about the old stuff is that they hung with the shots a lot of the time. So they hung with Edge celebrating the championship. He got up on the turnbuckles, he kissed Lita, he made out with Lita and the belt, and then Lita again. Raised it up on his head, middle of the ring. Ref put his hand up. He went out to the announcer's table. Him and Lita both got up on it. He raised it up above his head. He was yelling at the crowd. Lita put the belt on around his waist. It looks really good on him. The spinner belt looks really good on him. So, and it's actually one of the few guys I think it looks good on. So, it just fits him. He celebrated with that. He went back into the ring, got up on the ropes, went up to the stage. Exit left. The show was over. It was a really good show. Am I supposed to be rating these? The show, I mean, like even on the other episode, I don't really give them stars because I'm not a cheap mark. I've been given it an enjoyed or didn't enjoy. And this pay-per-view, I would say I enjoyed it more than I didn't. But if we're gonna chop and screw this pay-per-view, then probably just watch the good ones. Like honestly, Ric Flair and Edge was a pretty good match, even if it ended in DQ. Trish Stratus and Mickie James, good. Jerry Lawler and Gregory Helms, good. Skip Triple H and Big Show. Go, have a snack, eat a meal, drink a water, do anything else other than watch that. You could probably skip Shelton Benjamin Viscera. You could skip the Bra and Panties match, unless you're really horny or something. Of course, the Elimination Chamber, you gotta watch it, and then Edge versus John Cena is technically a match, but it only goes for 2 minutes. So, yeah, good show.
We got Nico's corner.
Okay, this is Nico, and let's talk about New Year's Revolution. So there was a prelim match. Didn't watch it. Didn't care. So we're gonna start off with Ric Flair and Edge. You got 2 very solid competitors going at it. I mean, it's kind of revving up to be a good match. Edge took a couple of smacks. A couple of I think there's an execution. Ric Flair went for the figure 4, but eventually Edge just kind of gets sick of the match, hits him with the briefcase, and that is a disqualification. Seems like he's got bigger plans than what's going on for there, but who knows. Next match is Trish Stratus versus Mickie James. Story here is that Mickie James is obsessed with Trish, and Trish is just kind of like, okay, cool, I guess. And they go out, have a match. This is actually a pretty good match. I've heard some people think otherwise, but honestly, for the women at this time, it's a great match. I really just sat there thinking, man, what could they do at these two, this age in 2023? I think I've even said before, Trish Stratus would probably be the megastar of women's wrestling right now if she was this age now. Great match. Trish Stratus beats her with the chick kick after Mickey tries hitting her with the Stratusfaction and does not get the full count. Good match. Jerry Lawler defeat Gregory Helms. My God, what a guy Gregory Helms is in this match. Unbelievable. Boring. It's Jerry Lawler, who is very 70s wrestling. I mean, I like him, but you're not going to get a great match. And Gregory Helms' new character means he's not going to do anything fun. So, Jerry Lawler defeats Gregory Helms. I mean, expected. 5, Triple H vs. Big Show. I really like Triple H at this point. I think he's pretty good. I thought he was great on the promos leading up to this match. And in fact, I thought he was actually the babyface going in. I was wrong. Boring match. Big Show is 500 pounds and 7 feet, and it looks it, it feels it. Once that cast comes off, it's just selling the hand over and over. I think Triple H does a great job. Big Show is clearly not in his element. He is much slower than he was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, probably even a year ago. Bad match. Triple H beats him by hitting him in the head with the sledge, which broke in half. Nothing much to say. Earlier, Viscera is sexually harassing Shelton Benjamin's mom, and she gets really upset and sets up a match with Shelton and Viscera. Viscera is fat, slow, not great. Shelton Benjamin's awesome, but not a great match. He beats him. Next match is the gauntlet match. Maria, Tori, Victoria, Candice, and so on. Maria and Candice start. It's okay. It's not great. Maria is able to take off after losing. If that takes off of Candice's outfit, Tori comes in. They're wrestling. They do a roll spot on the ref. Tori then gets mad at the ref, where Maria used it to take off. I don't even know what she was wearing. I can't remember. And wins that. What else? Then I think Victoria comes in and basically wins. Takes off Maria's pants, and Maria's out. Then Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah come out. Nothing. Mae Young just takes out her clothes for whatever. They do take off Victoria's top, but that's it. I don't know. Not really sure on that one. Then Ashley Massaro comes out, beats Victoria. It was bad. I mean, as much as I like this segment on the last episode, it's bad. Don't watch it. Unless you really want to see bra and panty match, but don't. Finally, it's John Cena, Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle gets eliminated first by Shawn Michaels. It's okay stuff. It's a mid elimination chamber match. Then Kane gets out with Carlito and Chris teaming up, and their teaming up helps get rid of Shawn, who's bleeding heavily this whole match. Carlito and Chris team up until Carlito betrays him, which also ends him quickly, with John Cena retaining the title. Audience wasn't happy. This is pretty kind of mad of a match anyways. I didn't care for it. But the real main event, as Vince McMahon comes out, he's like, yeah, it's just not over yet, because Edge is cashing in Money in the Bank. Edge cashes in, they have a match, doing a go. Crowd is favoring Edge. Edge is going nuts, so everybody's on that. He hits the first spear. Cena kicks out. The boos are quite audible. There are some heavy boos. Then finally, Edge hits him with the second spear, pins him. He is now your new WWE champion. Crowd goes nuts. It's a great ending for a show. And of course, Edge is awesome. And that is New Year's resolution as fast as I could put it together. Ric Flair defeats Edge. I'd give a. I mean, it was kind of good. So maybe a 2.25 star. Trish Stratus defeats Mickie James. I actually really like that match. I'll give it a 3. 3 stars. Jerry Lawler defeats Gregory Helms. Half star. Boring. Nothing there. Triple H defeats Big Show. Honestly, I hated this match more because it was longer, but I'll give it 1.5 stars because Triple H tried his fucking best. And if this was like half the time, it at least would have been like a okay Raw match, but it wasn't. Shelton Benjamin defeats Viscera. 1 star. Nothing match. Viscera can't move. Braun Pandy's gauntlet match. It's too early for negative stars, so I'll give it 1. I will say, having something like this is kind of nice to break up the pace of everything, but it's bad. It's really bad. That New Year's resolution, I'll give 2 3/4 stars. I've seen so many better Elimination Chamber matches. I don't think it holds up. This is not remembered for that match. This is remembered for the next match, which is Edge and John Cena, which I will give 3.5 stars. I think it was an awesome segment. It really lit everything up. Yeah, it's only minute 46, but I mean, come on, that's what everybody remembers. Great moment for Edge. Great moment for everybody, I think.
Kidding me? I hope nobody listens to this show.
We got we got 4 people that might listen to it.
They won't. They might say they do. They won't, and that's fine.
They'll give us the view and then leave.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thumbs
guys.
up. leave a like, tweet at Bed Bath & Beyond to sponsor us.
Shout out to Bed Bath & Beyond for being, being here when we need, any sheets or comforters or, stuff for the sink, maybe some cleaner. Thank you, Bed Bath & Beyond. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you
Yeah.
for listening to Raw Down.